I gave Stone Cold Steve Austin all of the WWE titles, but there's a twist. All of the rosters have been randomized for Raw and SmackDown, for both the men's and women's divisions, because I'm tired of Roman Reigns winning every match and getting a world title shot. So all the people that Austin will be fighting are random. So let's get into it. So our journey begins at Backlash. Stone Cold Steve Austin, looking quirky as ever, goes against Alba Fire. Yeah, remember when I said women's rosters? Yes, Austin is the women's champion. Why? I don't know. I thought it'd be funny. So, Stone Cold Steve Austin defends the Raw Women's title against Alba Fire. Steve Austin hits a giant knee to her face, and then Alba Fire grabs the ropes, but the ref doesn't see it, so Stone Cold wins and retains the Raw Women's title. And yeah, you know this is going to be a wacky video. Before we get to the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, I'd like you to like, comment, and subscribe. If you do, then Steve Austin will get you a cold one, brother. So, click it, please. Thanks. Let's get on to Hell in a Cell. So, at Hell in a Cell, Steve Austin is defending the United States title against Apollo Crews. Not in a Hell in a Cell, as the pay-per-view would suggest, but no. Maybe that would have been an advantage for good old Stone Cold, because Stone Cold got hit with a cruise control and lost. You know, he was doing so well against the women, and I guess when he has to fight the men, that's when he struggles. Money in the Bank, we got 2 Money in the Bank matches. One for the men, one for the women. Bruno Sammartino wins the men's one, and Zoe Stark, nah, just kidding, it's not Zoe Stark. She gets stuck in the air, though. Instead, it's Shayna Baszler who wins the other Money in the Bank. Fake out. So after all that Money in the Bank madness, we get to the main event. It's a WWE Championship match between Stone Cold and the phenomenal AJ Styles. AJ Styles throws everything in the kitchen sink. He goes for a calf crusher, 1 Styles Clash, 2 Styles Clash. He doesn't get it, but then a phenomenal form from AJ puts down the rattlesnake, and AJ Styles shocks the world by beating Stone Cold. So now we arrive at SummerSlam. You think Stone Cold would get a rematch? Well, you'd be wrong, because he's defending the Intercontinental title against the best in the world. Now you're thinking the best in the world would have a good chance, right? Well, he gets hit with the Stone Cold Stunner and he gets pinned. So, yeah, not good for the best in the world. Stone Cold rules. So now, at Clash of the Castle, Steve Austin is getting a rematch for the United States title against Apollo Crews. And Austin hits the 3-hit combo, a knee stomp off the top, a Luthez press, and a stunner. He busts open Apollo Crews on the Luthez, and Austin reclaims the United States title. Now later in the night, Steve Austin has to defend his Universal Championship against none other than Hulk Hogan. Brother, I'm in the main event, dude. Isn't it great? Well, it's not great for both men, because Bruno Sammartino uses his Money in the Bank briefcase. He runs out, he cashes it in, and they have a big scuffle, and Austin's on the outside. As he's on the outside flipping the bird, Bruno Sammartino is already having Hulk Hogan tap out, and Austin realizes, oh no, I lost. Bruno Sammartino becomes the Universal Champion because Austin lost his mind, I guess. So at Extreme Rules, Steve Austin is hosting an open challenge for the US title. And who else to answer the call than...
Time has arrived.
That's right, it's Jim Ross, baby. And he's got a massive ass.
The big man is back.
Jim Ross hits 4 stink faces in each post. He does 1 in one post, 2, 3, and 4. And after the 4th one, Austin goes down. And good old JR is the United States champion. Time has arrived. So later in the night, after Steve Austin loses his US title to good old JR, now he has to go against Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's title. Rhea Ripley puts up a good fight, hitting a couple of riptides, but in the end, Austin beats up Rhea Ripley, and Steve Austin wins after beating down Rhea Ripley. So now at the Survivor Series, it's War Games, and it's a War Games match between 2 teams. Steve Austin has recruited Bruno Sammartino, the Universal Champion, and the Hulkster to form the Stone Cold Bruno Maniacs. I know, very creative. Who are their opponents? Well, it's none other than Jim Ross, Billy Ass, and Rikishi Ass. They are collectively known as the Ass Boys. Ass Boys versus the Bruno Maniacs. What a perfect match made in heaven. So now it's the War Games match. After a very intensive War Games with more ass than you could ever want in your life, the Stone Cold Bruno Maniacs win after Hogan wallops Rikishi in the face, and then go from bad to worse. Billy Ass gets punched directly in the face by both guys. So Stone Cold, Hogan, and Bruno defeat the Ass. So now a month later, we arrive at Vengeance, where Steve Austin is defending the Raw Women's title against... What the fuck is that? Holy shit, that's like cursed, man. That's like nightmare fuel. Holy shit. It's cursed Cora Jade. Oh wait, no, she's back. She's back to where she was. Okay, she's normal. False alarm, everyone. But Austin squashes Cora Jade, hits her with the stunner, and pins her. That's it. Yep. Sorry, Cora. Looks like you took the L on this one, girl. So now we arrive at day one. It's a three-way Universal title match, the rematch that we all... It's Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, and Bruno Sammartino. Bruno Sammartino takes out Hogan with a double axe handle, and he tries to get Austin in the Canadian backbreaker. Look at that booty shake, though. That's pretty good. Not bad from Bruno. Anyways, but at the end, he hits another one of those, and again, he's doing the booty shake, because everyone loves the booty shake. But why am I doing this? Austin is able to finish off Bruno with a, what's that called? I don't know. Someone in the comments can tell me what that move is. Austin wins with that move, and Austin reclaims his Universal title. So now we arrive at the Royal Rumble. We got 2 Rumbles and 2 other matches. The first Rumble is the Men's Rumble, and after a hard-fought Royal Rumble match, The Undertaker wins. Yeah! He's going to WrestleMania. Good for you, dead man. So now we move on to our second match of part 1. It is AJ Styles defending the WWE title against Steve Austin. Steve Austin's getting his rematch. The match ends in a countout. No joke. But according to the general manager, Adam Pearce, he says that countouts, if you get counted out, you lose your title. So Steve Austin is the new WWE champion. So now we're at part 2 of this Royal Rumble. Well, for the Women's Royal Rumble, after a long, hard fight, Dana Brooke wins the Women's Rumble. Yeah, good for her. So now, our main event. It's for the Raw Women's title as Stone Cold Steve Austin defends against Liv Morgan. After Steve Austin locks on whatever this is, I don't even know what this is supposed to be, Austin throws her in the corner and just beats her down. And after beating her up for like 30 seconds, she collapses and Austin pins her. And Austin has retained the women's title once again. And now we're at the Elimination Chamber. Steve Austin is defending the Raw Women's title against Bayley, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, unfortunately, and Trish Stratus in an Elimination Chamber match. That's pretty loaded, not gonna lie. And after a chamber match that was brutal in every way you could possibly imagine, it came down to Steve Austin and Trish Stratus. And I know what you're thinking. Trish Stratus actually won. Yeah. Hit a Stratus faction on Austin and put him down for the 3. Trish Stratus reclaims the women's title, I guess. And now to determine who would fight Steve Austin for the Universal Championship at the Elimination Chamber, we had an 8-man tournament. And after a long and brutal tournament, Kurt Angle would become the victor. So now we have Austin versus Angle Universal Championship match. After a brutal back and forth fight, Kurt Angle hits a suplex on Steve Austin and pins him for the 3. And Kurt Angle has won the Universal Championship. Now we're at the Mixed Match Challenge on the road to WrestleMania, where we got 2 big blockbuster matches. So let's get to our first match, the Universal Championship rematch between Austin and Angle. These two go at it. Austin rolls to the outside. He gets back into the ring. Angle runs at him, but he gets caught with a Stone Cold Stunner, and Steve Austin reclaims the Universal Championship. title. And now it's time for the main event. It's the Raw Women's title. Trish Stratus versus Steve Austin for the Raw Women's title. These two go back and forth, but in the end, Austin hits a stone cold stunner, drags her in the middle of the ring, or at least, I don't know what this is, but, okay. And Austin pins her, and Steve Austin reclaims his Raw Women's Championship. On the Raw before WrestleMania, we have a US title shot rematch thing. It is the final battle. Steve Austin versus good old JR.
350 pounds. Say hello to my ass.
Ass hanging out and all inside of the Hell in a Cell. And these two tear each other to shreds on top of the cell, outside of the cell. And Steve Austin hits a stone cold stunner that was so effective that Jim Ross fell off the cell, shaking the entire world with his big ass. And Austin is able to get him back in the ring and then hit another stunner to finally take down good old JR. Steve Austin reclaims the US title in the craziest, way I could possibly think of. On the SmackDown before WrestleMania, Steve Austin has to defend his Intercontinental Championship against T-Boner. Oh, that's interesting. Unfortunately for T-Boner, he doesn't get too far because Austin immediately hits him with the stunner and pins him for the 1-2-3. T-Bar, T-Boner, it doesn't matter because you're not winning a title. Die, Jack. Alright, now we're at WrestleMania. We got two big matches on night 1 and night 2. Our first one is the SmackDown Women's title. Stone Cold Steve Austin defends against the Royal Rumble winner, Dana Brooke. Yeah, Dana Brooke. Unfortunately for Dana Brooke, it didn't turn out very well because she got destroyed by Austin and was mercifully finished off with a stunner. And Dana Brooke's chances of being the women's champion were gone in smoke as Austin has proven himself to be the most dominant woman in all of wrestling. And now it's night 2 of WrestleMania. It is The Undertaker taking on Steve Austin for the WWE Championship belt. The match is intensive and, these two are going back and forth, but Undertaker gets thrown into the barricade and Austin runs in the ring and a count out. No kidding. A count out victory for Austin. The main event of WrestleMania ends in a count out. That seems like a pretty fitting end, not gonna lie. So it's all time to wrap this stuff up. We got all the 6 title belts that were going on throughout this year. So let's go down. First off, the Raw and SmackDown Women's title. Steve Austin completely dominated the women's division. It's not really surprising, but still, who would have thought the best women's wrestler is a man? I guess that's kind of appropriate, right? Anyways, we have the US title, which Steve Austin was able to win back in a hellacious Hell in a Cell from good old JR. AJ Styles, no. He retained the Intercontinental title and didn't lose it at all once. Universal title. Steve Austin reclaimed it after defeating Bruno Sammartino and Hogan, and was able to reclaim it against Angle. And then the WWE title. Austin reclaimed it via a count out at the Rumble. He retained the title in a count out at WrestleMania. So in conclusion, Austin was able to hold on to all 6 titles, a record that is very, very strong. An amazing feat by the Rattlesnake. Thanks for watching, everyone. Goodbye.